Thank you. Right. Well, good morning, everyone. We have had excellent speakers this morning. Thank you to all of our speakers today for giving their time and sharing their expertise with us. Just an incredible lineup. So as Laurel said, my name is Amy Gray, and I joined the CMTA in May of 2017 as the Chief Executive Officer, so a year and a half ago. And wow, has it been an incredible year and a half for the CMTA and research that's going on in the CMT field. So I'm really excited to be here today and share some highlights with you of the work that we're doing through our strategy to accelerate research, or what we like to call STAR. So a little background for you on the CMTA. We were founded in 1983 by patients, for patients. And since then, our organization has really been driven and powered by the patient community. The patient community has been a driving force behind everything that we have been able to do to carry out our mission. Our mission is really twofold, and it has been from those beginning days. We're very focused on investing in research to develop treatments and ultimately a cure for the disease. And we're very focused on helping improve the quality of life and putting on programs for the community, such as this program that we have here today. In the very beginning, research was at the heart of the founding of our organization. The founder actually was a doctor himself and understood the need to better understand what causes CMT. As we heard at that time in 1983, there were no genes identified that caused CMT. We knew the signs and symptoms thanks to Drs. Charcot-Marie-Tooth, but we didn't know the underlying causes of the disease. And over the years, over the next few decades, as we heard, those genes started to be identified. But in the very beginning, the CMT was very focused on investing in research that would help us identify those causes so we could then target those causes with potential therapeutic options. Fast forward to 2018, we're in 2018 now, but 2008, the CMTA was at a point where we had invested significantly in research, understood a lot of the genes that cause CMT at that point, and we're able to really take our research program to the next level. So we launched STAR at that point. And again, STAR is our strategy to accelerate research. And STAR has one single goal in mind: accelerate treatments and get them to our community with the highest sense of urgency. So over the last 10 years, now in 2018, we're really proud to say that we've invested more than $8 million in research to develop treatments for our community. And over the course of the next several years, we plan and need to spend another $10 million to keep that momentum moving on. So STAR is really leading the way, and as an organization, we've really been a trailblazer in helping those research advancements, understanding the causes of the disease, partnering with the best researchers in the world and pharmaceutical companies to develop these treatments for the community. And STAR is really unique, and there's three business principles that STAR is really founded on. Define a clear strategy, which we've done. We have a strategy now for 1A, the most common subtype, for 1B, for X-linked. We have a strategy for type 2s, and we've started to develop a strategy for gene therapy. We have a strategy for 4C. So our strategies under our research umbrella really cover the majority of all subtypes that are known at this point. And we find the best researchers around the world to work on that strategy. We have experts that are leading each of those research initiatives, and they help not only define the strategy, but then they go out and recruit expert scientists to work on that strategy and work on those projects that are going to help move our understanding of CMT along. And it's because of that world-class network of advisors that we have, those scientists and the projects that they're working on, that we've been able to attract pharmaceutical companies to partner with us to develop treatments for the community. And these partnerships are so critical. As you can imagine, drug development is extremely expensive. It can cost upwards of $400 million to develop a drug and bring it to market, probably more now today. The CMTA does not have those kind of funds sitting in our bank, but we are able to partner with these companies. So for every dollar we're putting in, they're investing about $10 of their resources, and we're able to leverage the work and the donations that are coming into to our foundation to move the science along. So those partnerships are absolutely critical to us. We now have partnership agreements with over 20 companies. 5 of those we've publicly disclosed to our community. I'm going to spend a little time today talking about those partnerships and where we're at with them. But a year and a half ago when I started, we had 5 partnerships with pharmaceutical companies, and now a year and a half later, the science and the research is progressing at such a great momentum that we're now in partnerships with 20 companies. So I can only imagine where we're going to be a year from now, but I share that with you because there's this incredible momentum going on right now, and STAR has really been a significant contributor to that. The companies that we're partnering with are really the leaders in genetic and neurological technologies, and we're actively working with them. I mean, my second day on the job at the CMTA, I had the honor of flying up to Cambridge, Massachusetts to sit down with Sanofi Genzyme, and we brought our scientific advisory chair and other scientists that advise our organization and sat down with the scientists at Sanofi. And our scientific team was pushing the pharmaceutical scientific team along and helping them understand the genetic and biological underpinnings of CMT and really helping them troubleshoot some of the things that they're working on in developing compounds for our community. So we're not only funding this work, but we're actively involved in pushing the science along at the expert level. So our flagship partner, Sanofi Genzyme, we started working with in 2014. They are a Cambridge-based company, and we've done a lot of work with them over the last several years. They have a very large library of compounds, and we took those compounds and tested them to see if we had any hits that could potentially help treat CMT1A. And right now we're in a phase with them where we're testing some of the compounds that they've identified on some animal models. As you heard earlier, we are able to kind of replicate the disease in animal models, and it's the use of these animal models that helps pharmaceutical companies kind of come in, quickly test to see if their drugs could have a positive effect on these animals that represent CMT, and then do further exploratory work, which ideally, hopefully, will lead to clinical trials in humans. We're also working with Ionis Pharmaceuticals. We were really excited to make a very exciting announcement last December to our community. We had a big breakthrough in our CMT1A program where scientists at Ionis, along with our advisory board, were able to develop a drug that showed in 2 animal models of CMT1A that they were not only able to reverse the symptoms of the disease, but also help improve a lot of function. And so we have a lot of hope that this work will continue to progress forward, and at some point down the road, it will be in human clinical trials. Okay, here we go. Inflect Bioscience is another partner of ours. They recently announced over the summer that they'll be starting phase 1 trials next year, and they will be testing drugs on CMT1A and 1B patients. So stay tuned. I'm sharing this because I want you to be aware of what's in the pipeline. There's incredible momentum and a lot really being developed right now that down the road you'll have the opportunity potentially to participate in and get involved in the work that we're doing with clinical trials. So this was just approved for a phase 1 study, and we expect that to start sometime next year. In addition, our partner Acceleron, who's here today and we'll be doing a focus group with later this afternoon, has a drug candidate called ACE-83. And this is a muscle strengthening drug that is being tested right now in CMT type 1s, and they're in clinical phase 2. So this is something that you can get involved with and go to their website, to our website, or to the clinicaltrials.gov website and find out where the participating locations are and how to get involved with that. And I would encourage you to speak to the representatives that are here today as well. And the Regency Pharmaceuticals. So we're not only doing work in type 1s, but we're also starting to do a lot of work in type 2s. And a lot of the companies that we haven't publicly disclosed yet are companies that are working in some of these other subtypes, such as type 2s. We just started testing animals with a potential drug candidate that could treat different type 2s, type 2A, 2E. And it's really through the support of some major donors and families in the community community that we're able to move this work forward with Regency and some of these other type 2 companies. So a lot more to come, and a lot more announcements that you'll be hearing from the CMTA in the months ahead about the work that we're doing, not only in type 1s, but also in type 2s. In addition to that, we're also looking at gene therapy approaches. As you probably see in the news, there's a lot going on right now with gene therapy. And similar to what the CMTA did back in 2008 when we launched STAR and created this strategy to accelerate research, we held a similar summit this summer, but specific to gene therapy. We flew in 30 experts from around the world for this gene therapy summit, and these are experts in gene therapy and other diseases such as SMA, which has had a lot of news lately about treatment opportunities, as well as other types of inherited neuropathies. We brought these scientists together to help advise our organization on the best way to invest in gene therapy, to explore opportunities for gene therapy treatments for our community. So we will be launching a gene therapy strategy and engaging the community and helping us support that to move those efforts along. Gene therapy is very, very expensive to invest in, and so we want to be really intentional about the dollars and how we're spending them. Involving patients in our research is something we've done from the very beginning. You know, as I mentioned, our founder was a patient himself and knew the need for research, and patients have been involved in really setting our research strategy and agenda every step of the way. They serve on our advisory board, they are working within our branches, they sit on our board and help guide our research strategy on a weekly basis. But it's really this past year that we launched this initiative called Patients as Partners in Research, where we're taking that patient engagement to the next level. And we're working with a number of our pharmaceutical companies to really bring you, the experts, to the conversation about drug development and how we can get drugs to the community quicker, and what's important, what are the patients looking for in treatment options. One of the ways that we're doing that is through a partner which was recently in the news, Pharnext. They have had some really positive results in a phase 3 trial for 1A, and we're working with them right now on the first international digital observation study. So what does that mean? They've basically developed an app called CMT&Me. You can download it on your iPhone or your Android phone, and you can start helping us gather information about CMT and how it affects your daily life. You can go to our website for more information, or we'd be happy to talk to you about this during a break. But this is really important for us as a community to better understand the burden of CMT on your quality of life, as well as the economic costs of CMT. As we go to the FDA and work with healthcare insurance, we need to understand and gather more data on this, because it will help us move these treatments along faster to our community. So these are ways that you can get involved in helping us as patients and partners and working with us on our research strategy. Other ways you can get involved, we have a Center of Excellence network. We have over 26 centers, mostly here in the US, but also some internationally. And most of those centers are part of the Inherited Neuropathies Consortium, which you heard about earlier, where they are following patients with CMT. They've enrolled over 10,000 patients with CMT and are tracking the kind of natural history of the disease. So this is a way where you can get involved. You can go see a CMT-trained specialist. You can enroll in our patient registry that the Inherited Neuropathies Consortium has set up, and be involved in that research and be a part of that as a patient. So there's information on our website about that, and there's also a link here up on the slides, which you'll be getting later. The CMTA is really a best-in-class organization. We're very serious about the work that we're doing in research through our strategy to accelerate research. We hold the researchers accountable. We spend your dollars wisely. We don't provide additional funding to the researchers until they report on the work they've done and they've met those milestones. And I think that's really important for you, members of our community, to know that every dollar you donate to the CMTA, and every dollar you help raise, we take that responsibility very seriously. We're a very highly rated organization by the Charity Watchdogs, having some of the highest ratings from Charity Navigator, as well as GuideStar and the Better Business Bureau, and we want you to know that we take our responsibility very serious. 88 cents of every dollar goes directly to support our mission. So we have very low overhead, and we're really proud of that. So please get involved. There's many different ways you can do that. You'll be hearing from Gina Sweeney later. She's a very difficult person to say no to. So I'm sure if you're not involved yet, you will be involved as you leave today. But please consider visiting a Center of Excellence. There's a great one here in your community. You can find out more information about that on our website. Consider joining the patient registry if you haven't done that, and make CMT and the CMTA your cause. We have been able to make these incredible advancements over the last 35 years because of the involvement of the patient community, and it's going to take every single one of us to speed up that work and accelerate that timeline so we can get treatments to you all quicker. So please get involved and help us speed this up, because we want to get treatments to the community, and we want to get them to you as quickly as we can, and we can only do that with your help. So thank you.